Tips for young DJs would be patience, probably. Play the long game, don't rush into anything, and don't feel like you're having to do everything all at once. A bit of a veteran now in this scene, I guess, having touring for kind of nearly 20 years, I would say that patience is the key, you know, and have a kind of, it's not always easy because sometimes people pop off really, really quickly and things happen overnight, it almost seems. But just try and ride that wave consistently rather than too many spikes, because, you know, gradually walking up a hill is a lot more successful than, you know, jumping straight to the top and then falling back down the other side. You know? But they say, don't they, that anything that's an overnight success probably isn't an overnight success. It's been building up to that point, you know. But yeah, you've just got to be patient, which is hard because it feels like, especially with social media and people's attention spans, that everything is so reactive. If you don't catch people in 3-4 seconds, they're gone, you know. But yeah, I think overall patience is key with this industry.
I want y'all to think about something for a second. DJing is truly an act from God, right? We take our two hands and our imagination and we shift the vibe in the room. We create energy, and we're also making memories memorable for all the attenders in the party. That's something that should be held sacred. DJing is an act of selflessness. It's not always about how we feel, even though we have preferences, but it's about the people. So understand this: doctors heal the body, therapists heal the mind, but the DJ heals the spirit. And it's not about clout, it's about calling. And when God calls you to help people heal through sound, that's sacred. Don't take for granted. Peace.
Creatives, you should stop making content. In fact, you should stop making art for your peers, that is. They're not your assignment and they're not your audience. You should make art for the people who love your art.
You ain't ready to put 5 years of grind into anything without making a quarter.
Right.
Don't even start. Sometimes it takes that long to get over the hump. They're not ready.
I think a lot of people go through this thing where if they share information, they're going to lose their business. They're going to lose their edge. Two things are true in this world. One, there's only one you, and nobody can do what you do, even if they try to copy you one for one. It's never the same. And then two, most people that you give information to won't actually take you up on your information. I could tell people right now how to start a business from scratch, all the pitfalls and all the things you should and you shouldn't do. And you know what? 2% will actually take my advice and use it. The rest of them either know better than me or are too lazy to make it happen.
Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But DJing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the Hitman DDub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman DDub, and my friend DJ Mikey Mike. And
hello, everybody. What's happening on a Thursday night?
And I see we already have DJ Cool Thing in the chat, DJ
he's
Will,
number 2.
and Big DJ Service.
Hello, Big DJ Services. Hello, Willie.
And before I forget, because I always forget every week, make sure to hit the like button. That'll help us out.
Like, subscribe, and share also.
And I need to put these buttons in chronological order. Now I forgot where I was supposed to go next. So I did all that extra talking. But our podcast is a podcast for DJs of all skill levels to come, connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So last week, we had a good show last week. And the 3 takeaways was great weddings happen when vendors start working with each other. Constant communication before, during, and after your event minimizes any issues that arise. And the third one was our goal is to leave guests and clients happy so that can lead to referrals and a lasting reputation.
So true. That was a great show last week. I mean, both ladies, Tracy and Angie, they did a wonderful job. Angie is, I'll tell you, she's 1000% correct in everything she's talking about. You don't have to second guess with her. She's boom, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, and I kind of made some slides because there was a lot of information that she passed out to use.
Yes.
And I'm not going to read it. I'll probably post it in our Facebook group page. It's just basically talking about how we should all work together as a team and not working alongside. It's easy to show up and just do your thing and work inside the bubble.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that Angie did say that was different from when she worked with me and then the following DJs afterwards. They came in with their own agenda. They did their own thing, and everybody forgot their roles to make everything happen.
Yeah, and instead of working together, you get some DJs or some photographers or videographers. They're just going to go up and do their own thing, And listen, the couple hired a wedding coordinator. Work with her. She worked directly with the bride and groom. And also, I know the DJs work directly with the bride and groom, too. So the DJs and the wedding coordinators have the most information. The videographers and the photographers, they have the information, like when they're going to do the ceremony, when's this going to be done, but nothing that like what we have. So listen to the wedding coordinator, listen to the DJ, and everybody work as a team. That's what we're there for. We're there for one goal, all of us, is to make sure the bride and groom have the best day of their life.
Right. And then also, just because you all do the one event together, it doesn't always have to be just the one event, because that's how you can network. Also with trying to get good with the photographer, because we're going to talk about social media again later on in the show. But if you can get those professional shots from the photographer, getting good with them, then that could be golden for you.
Oh, God, yes. God, yes. One thing I forgot to ask Angie last week, and even for you and I went into venues, say it was a Saturday wedding, and there was a wedding at that venue the Friday night, and I come in the next day to do my setup, and I'm like, wow, there's gaff tape stuck on the ground yet. There's batteries thrown on the ground. I don't care what venue you go to. I don't care if it's a VFW or if it's the most expensive venue in your area. When you, the DJ, are leaving, make sure you clean up your area. if you have to change your batteries, if you had a candy bar with you, you have a wrapper and you just place it on the ground or place it on your table or whatever, and then when you're cleaning up, it fell off. Don't overlook it. Clean it up, and that reflects so much on you, the DJ, to the venue, and the venue manager goes, wow, that guy is great. Maybe he didn't play all that good that night, but look at the area. He left it spotless for us. We don't have to they run the vacuum cleaner anyhow, but look how clean it is. There's no food on the floor. He didn't leave his drink here. I mean, that means so much to the venue. And also, one other thing is, I always shout out the bartenders or barmaids. Make sure that the guests don't leave them a tip. That, again, reflects on the venue. So I think that's two other points I forgot to bring up last week to Angie. Because I know she'd probably be like, yeah, you're right. It's so important for us to do that.
Right. And it also, again, goes back to networking. Because if you come in and be professional, because I just assumed that a lot of this stuff was a given. Everybody was doing it. I didn't realize DJs was actually doing that, and that was a norm with a lot of DJs. So that's a good way you can do that and be one of the preferred vendors at that venue.
Yep.
So
it's just unbelievable. Sometimes I walked in and I'm like, was there like a little kid here at this area? Because I mean, there was stuff all over the floor. The tape was actually still left down, and they ran the vacuum cleaner. But when you're using black gaffer tape, the guy didn't pull it up. Like, how the heck did he get his wires from underneath it? I'm thinking.
But yeah, make sure you use gaffer tape. You can't use duct tape because certain tape would leave that residue.
Yes. Well, I mean, this was the whole tape, the whole piece of tape. I'm like, what did he do? Just peel up the one side and just place it back down and flatten it out? Like, I don't know,
Yep. But this week, again, we ended, if you've been following me for the last few weeks, I was part of this group that did a Instagram 30 challenge. If the number of posts that I put up was like the number of questions you got right on the quiz, I failed it miserably. I couldn't get my 30 days in.
Well, it's your first time doing it. Give yourself a pat on the back for even attempting to do it, because all the other stuff you have going on, you're DJing, people think DJing is so easy. It's not. You got to sit down and make sure you get your music. You make sure you analyze it. There's so much behind the scenes stuff that people don't see. So, Dwayne, pat yourself on the back because you did a great job. That was amazing what you did.
All right, thanks. And let me try to get everything in the spot. So basically, I was trying to do, multitask like I always do.
Yes.
And so why I was like trying to do this one Instagram post. I was like, I need to come up with a topic. I do that every Sunday and Monday. What am I going to talk about on Thursday? So I was like, since also that topic came about because for some reason this week on Facebook, all throughout my Facebook timeline was somebody's DJ setup. It was within amazing DJ setup or bad DJ setups. And I kept seeing the same kind of, I don't want to say problems. I'm thinking maybe me and Buddy talk too much to each other because now I'm becoming like Buddy.
That might be a bad thing.
Yeah, I see certain things and I'm like, I wonder what Buddy is going to say, because getting back to the setups, I see a lot of people, either they're in a room that doesn't look like it's small, but they bring these big, huge speakers, not just one set of speakers. They bring a big, huge one like they're at the Coliseum or doing, a rock concert for a little room. It's like all that is really not necessary. And then I really don't even get into what the sound like. I guess it's my back. My back sees it more than my DJ self. So my back is
Yes.
like, I wonder how long did it take them to set up all that trussing, all those extra lights, and then all those heavy speakers.
Yes. Yeah. I seen some. I'm like, where are you going to a wedding? What do you do? Try to blow the people's heads off? You know, like, wow.
And then Angie brought that up too. She said she hates when DJs come and they bring all that extra sound and it's just super loud where you can't talk. People actually leave because it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
Or just like a lot of the DJs that I saw on Facebook, they bring all these speakers, all this extra stuff. It looks nice as a picture, but as far as the function, it's like it's a different story because now all the sound is coming from one spot and it doesn't fill the whole room.
No, it's overbearing actually. You know, it's just like all you hear is woo, 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 and it's like it just drives you crazy. I see we got our little mascot here with us now.
Yep.
She missed the last couple weeks. Like, I'm gonna have to buy her or something, you know?
Yeah, and then on top of that, the music is loud, but then when they get on the microphone, they sound like Kenny from South Park. Like,
Yeah.
they be sounding like that. I'm like, you have all this stuff up there. You should be clear.
Well, that or they sound like the teacher of Charlie Brown. Like, what? You know, like, come on. You have to understand you're in an area. You should know the logistics of the area before you even go there to DJ. And you know what size the venue is going to be. You know the dance floor. Do you need all that stuff? No. But they think they're impressing people because they're making it loud and they're gonna, you know, they're gonna just blow everything right up. And honestly, it just kills me to see that. You brought that up. I seen a video this week. This guy, he purchased the QSC CBD 10s and he switched from he does use one sub and he uses 2 QSC CB10s. That's it. He said, I even dropped down from the 12-inch. He said, because the venues that he goes to are very small. He said, and I don't want to kill people with that blasting. He said, he doesn't run them. He does run them battery powered, but he said it saves on the people's ears. He said also it saves him on his hearing also. Which, you know, if you really think of it, we're right by the music and we're hearing it the worst. And I do have, they're called eargasms. They're like an earplug, but you could actually still hear people when they come up for a request and they work out great. But again, when I seen that video, I'm like, wow, this guy, he's making some sense here. You really don't have to have all that music. He also did mention that he used to bring in filler speakers with him. And he said, you know, I noticed, he said, the people were up at the bar and he had a speaker up by the bar and the bartenders couldn't hear the people, you know, what kind of drink they wanted or whatever. So he decided the one wedding not to bring a filler speaker. He said the bartenders and barmaids thanked him because they heard everything that the guests wanted to drink. So I'm like, there's another good point. I'm not even subscribed to this DJ. It just happened to pop up. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see what it was. There's something with QSC CB10s. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. I think I did subscribe to him after that, you know?
Mm-hmm. But it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I thought a lot of this was like common sense kind of thing. But it's like there's a lot of people, there's more people than what I thought would make these same mistakes over and over and over. And these are not the so-called budget DJs either that's doing it.
You know, it's sad because they fall into that situation or that role that the louder it is, the better it is. And they just keep going with that and keep going with it and keep going. And okay, when you see the video on YouTube and stuff, they can get in there and they can lower the volume. So you see it and you say, oh, well, that sounds great. Yeah, until you get there and he DJs for you or she DJs for you. It's like, whoa, wait a second. Yo, but turn it down, you know. Seeing the video on YouTube and actually seeing it live in person are two different things.
Right. Because that's what I was going to mention. Because also going back to why I picked this topic. Also, besides looking at the equipment, there was a couple of other things that came up that I was like, I want to talk about that one too. And another one was Zola. Zola had a webinar yesterday that talked about
I missed it.
social media, how to use that to gain more, not subscribers, more so get booked more. Almost use it like a portfolio. So it could be like Instagram was the number one social media that they said you should be posting on. And then it was TikTok. That's for the younger people.
Yes.
And then Pinterest, is that how you say it?
Pinterest, yes.
Yep. And I forgot about that one. That's like the stepchild, the forgotten stepchild to me.
Yeah, that one is it's very hard to navigate too in that Pinterest. I tried it a couple times. I'm like, oh my God, I need something so I can get through this. You know, it's like, wow.
Yeah, because that seems like I didn't think about it because at the time when I was posting stuff, I didn't have the right frame or I should say I didn't have the right DJ business mind frame. Because Pinterest is where you can post your pictures, your setup, the venue, the your lights, how you can do the lights and all that stuff, and that's where getting good with the photographer helps. Because those pictures, you can put more of those on the Pinterest because that's where the coordinators and people getting ideas, that's where they go.
Yes. Yep.
And then after that one fell, of course, YouTube and Facebook and that kind of stuff.
I'll tell you, I mean, like you and I see so much stuff on YouTube. And I'm like, some stuff is so interesting, and some stuff is like, how is this DJ getting away with this? They're like, they have lights right at the audience or right at the bride and groom, because sometimes they'll put the sweetheart table right across the dance floor from the DJ. And then you look and you see his lights or her lights just aimed right at the bride and groom. It's like, God, point them to the ceiling. You know, that's going to reflect off the ceiling and bounce back down to the dance floor. I mean, stuff like that is so simple to figure out, but they think it looks cooler this way, but it isn't. You know, it's so sad.
Because one of my questions was, how much is that actually influenced by social media? The bigger, because you see the bigger ones. Because for example, when I decided to leave my bedroom and try to do this as, you know, for money and dealing with the public. Of course, we all watch DJ Barr's video and then like Rick Webb and all of them. And I know I fell into the trap, you know, watching their video, it'd be like, I wish my gigs would be like theirs. So I ended up buying the same kind of lights, trying to do the same thing that they're doing. Yeah. And then doing it wrong. Yep.
Well, they don't show you all the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, they show you them getting to the venue and saying, okay, yeah, we got so-and-so here with us. But not saying they have the rest of the team there setting up. One's doing the lights, one's doing the speakers, one's plugging everything in. Then Rick gets up and our bar gets up, does a sound check. And okay, yep, everything's good. Go change, get back to the DJing. But they have a whole team of people doing everybody has their own job. You have one doing lights, one doing speakers, one doing if you're using Sound Switch or a Wolf Mix, whatever you're doing, one setting that up for all the lights. I mean, it's a whole team effort. But who shines? The DJ shines. DJ Bar, DJ Rick Webb, or DJ Mikey Mike, or DJ Hitman, or DJ Cool Thing, or DJ Will. But they don't show you the behind the scenes, what took them to get there to have. Because honestly, if you have to go there and set up the equipment, you're a solo op, I'm a solo op, Will's a solo op. Setting up all the stuff that Bar has, we would have to get there 3 days early to set up everything. You know, it's just unforeseen that we could do something like that. We'd have to have a whole crew doing that. But then again, that's why he's getting X amount of dollars for his DJing. But if you figure it out, when you start paying everybody out of that, what are you really bringing home? He's probably bringing home just a little bit more than you and I. That's all, you know. But he has, I mean, his channel is great. My hat goes off to him. He is a very, 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 very well-mannered person. He's not what you see on YouTube. He's totally the opposite. He's very shy. The thing is, he has this persona about him. Rick Webb has a persona about him. But Rick will tell you that he has a whole crew working, but you don't see him, but he at least tells you there's a whole crew working behind me, you know, so, which is good. But again, for you and I, we can't do what they do unless we hire a whole crew, and then we got to charge. If we charge what we charge, we're going to come home with, no, we're not going to come home with anything. We're going to owe ourselves money then, you know?
But it's like, if you can do it, fine. But if you can't, you got to just make sure whatever you buy, you use it correctly. Because I know there's a lot of DJs that crap on people because they use budget, off-brand equipment. But to me, at the end of the day, it's all about the way that you use it. Because you can use, budget stuff and make it sound great. And then people that don't know what they're doing can grab the most expensive piece of equipment, and it could sound and look just as terrible. Especially with some of those setups I saw on Facebook. I was like, they got all this stuff, they spent all that money on this stuff, but they're not placing it correctly. It looks gaudy to me. Yeah.
I thinking about that. I used to belong to one Facebook page, DJ Bat Setups or something like that. And they came down, this is about 2-3 years ago. They came down on this young man so bad. It was unbelievable. He tried, and I'll give him credit. He did try to tape stuff down, but he had a light bar behind him, and there was lights, the wires were hanging and stuff like that. So, hey, he's learning. And we were all there at one point in time. We didn't just walk into this and know everything. We had wires hanging. Believe me, I had wires all over the place. If people see my setup the first couple of years, they'd be like, "Wow, that's a fire waiting to happen," But you learn, you grow, and you learn more. And if you don't keep learning as you're growing, guess what? It's time to step out of the business. You have to appreciate and know your equipment and what could happen. You may have something up on a totem that somebody might have in the wrong position where people are dancing and somebody could hit it, and then that moving head flies off of it, or a speaker flies off of it. There's an injury waiting to happen. I'm always safety first, and then we go on with the show. I always think, I always say, the old saying is think out of the box. Always look, step back, do your stuff, step back and look away from it. You look at it and say, okay, well, they're dancing here. Okay, there's this. Okay, well, we're going to switch this. One thing I did learn from the one venue I was teaching at, they would always put like a white napkin down, or like a lighter napkin down at the edge of my speaker stands. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I have my mini par fours. I put one mini par four by the one speaker stand. I put one over by the other speaker stand. And I'll tell you, that works great. People, there's a light. Oh, there's a speaker stand. There's the light come up. So they walk around and so I'm like, beautiful. So again, you think out of the box. There you go. You got something that a little bit of advice.
Yep. And then also, I know when I had bought my lights, my first lights, when I thought I needed all these lights to be that DJ, I wonder how many of them actually, because I know they have like these wire cabling that you're supposed to put around the truss. So if the light falls, it catches it. I wonder how many of them have that, or at least insurance with all that stuff going on.
I'll tell you, I seen some DJs on YouTube that they didn't even know what insurance was for a DJ. Like the one guy showed up at the venue, and the venue manager said, "Unless you have insurance, I can't let you in here." He's like, "Well, I got to DJ the wedding." He said, "I don't care what you got to do. You cannot come in here unless you have insurance." So the guy's like, "Oh, I can't get insurance yet." So the venue manager was nice. He said, "Listen, you can call this place. You can get insurance." It wasn't expensive. I think it was like maybe like $60 for him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he just bought insurance, it won't cost you that much for the whole. Well, no, it costs you a little more than that for the whole year. But it ain't that outrageously expensive. I mean, some people think the more insurance they have, the better off they are. Sometimes you could over-insure yourself. And guess what? You're not going to get all that back. Believe me, it's just people have to realize this, but they don't. They're just, oh, I'm going to get that and get more insurance, get more. They ain't gonna cover more than what your stuff is worth. Believe me.
Mm-hmm. But you got to read the fine print with the insurance, because I did the when I first got into DJing publicly, or doing, trying to cross over from being the bedroom DJ to a working DJ. I messed around with this one company. I forget what their name was, but it's the one where you can call in. You need to do it the day before. You can't do it the same day and have I guess you could say, the insurance time frame start right at that point.
Yes.
You got to at least give it 24 hours. It's one of those things you can buy the insurance for a day, or, quick insurance. It's just, it's more so they didn't insure anything, and you have to read the small print. Because, for example, if someone broke into your car and stole your equipment at a gig, or something happens at a gig, they won't cover it. It was like a bunch of stupid stuff that you actually need. Or if it's in your car, they won't reimburse your equipment if it's in the car. Or it was like a bunch of stupid stuff. But it's one of those things. They were only good for if you needed insurance, like the guy, real quick. Just a proof saying that you have insurance. But then I ended up getting this one company, and I need to look up the name of it. But yeah, the insurance is not that much for the whole year.
I have Next Insurance. I love them. I think it's like $280 for the whole year. And it's like $4 million for this, $2 million for that, $1 million for this. I mean, I can't beat it. It comes out monthly, right out of my bank. You don't even have to ask, did I pay it this month? No, it's automatically, boom, pulled out.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up. Policy. Because I also did it through my insurance. And, my regular insurance, the vehicle and the house. And it was super duper expensive. And they still don't cover everything. Like if something happens, because I was storing it in my house. If something happens to the house, or like flood in the basement, house catch on fire, there was loopholes that wouldn't cover my equipment. So again, that was almost like a waste of money. But I have this one called RVNA. That's pretty good. And what I like about them is it's not a blanket insurance where they give you a price. You pretty much tell them how much your equipment is worth. And you basically, I guess, get insurance for how much you want to be covered for. So So your monthly or your premiums can fluctuate, and they do more than just stolen equipment or damaged equipment or all those miscellaneous things. It's just one of those things where you got to be careful with them. They only allow you to I guess you can, turn in a claim for X a number of times within a certain period. That's the only thing you have to watch for.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of advice. And this is going to all the other DJs out there, photographers, videographers, whatever you're into. Take pictures of your equipment. Take a picture of the serial number. Then, how are you going to save that? What are you going to do? Okay, you can save it to a hard drive. Well, your house catches on fire. Is your hard drive in your pocket? No. Best thing to do is I take pictures with my phone. Then I email to myself. Guess what? That's always there. That email will always be there. And if the insurance company says, well, do you have proof that you had this equipment? Yeah, I have proof. Hang on. You know, and I always, I'll put the subject, I'll put my speaker brand, my microphones, my stands, my lights, whatever. Then I have it. The hard drives could burn up, whatever, the whole house, kitchen, everything can be just a pile of dust. But guess what? That email will be there. So to everybody that's going to go out and get insurance, take pictures of all your equipment and make sure also take pictures of the serial number with the like if you're doing a speaker, so you have the QSC speakers, take a picture of the QSC, the front, side, back, top, whatever. But then when you turn it to the back, you'll have that. Then zoom in on the serial number, take a picture of that, and you're golden then.
Yeah, because that's the insurance I have. This last one, I like them because you don't even have to do all that. Because I know with the other ones, you might have to be specific like that for them to still give you a hard time if they're going to even give you the money to replace your speakers. This company is just tell them how much it is, give them a price, and you can get your money. But again, you just need to make sure you read the small print and make sure that they're going to cover what you need them to cover.
Yes, This is, it's funny but not funny. I caught our car on fire. Hey, oof! You want to see something burn? I never seen anything burn that quick in my life. My car. What I did is I had my DJ phone. I grabbed it out of there. I dropped it. I stepped on it. My insurance would not cover it. I'm like, why won't you cover it? They said you should let it burn on the fire. I'm like, yeah, but I need it. You broke it. That's your own responsibility. Once you take it out of the car, that's not our responsibility no more. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They would not pay for my phone. I had to go out and buy a new phone. Thank God I had insurance through Verizon because then they replaced the phone. But I'm thinking, first of all, there's a lithium battery in it. I don't want that to burn and go onto the ground. They said, we don't care. We replaced the street. We don't care about that. But you took that out of there. You broke it. That's your responsibility. I'm like, well, if I ever catch my car on fire again, let everything burn. You know?
Mm-hmm. Let's get to the chat.
Yeah, we got a lot of people there.
Yep.
We only got one like.
Huh?
We only got one like. We need some more likes there. Come on, Cool Thing. Come on, Will. Throw us a like.
And then, okay, starting with Cool Thing. Cool Thing said, that's why I love my JBL Eon 612s. They have a decent amount of sound for where I DJ. And he says, it's a good thing I don't use subs. Subs for me are complete overkill. It depends on what you DJing because it will round out your total sound and it will give that thump. But you don't need it to be hitting you like a gut punch. And then he said, even sometimes at smaller venues, I get told to turn down the volume, even with my 12-inch tops. I have that. And then there's certain venues around here that don't even want you to bring in the sub because there's guys that don't know sound, bring it in, and they just have the whole place rattling. So they like, don't even bring in the sub. And a lot of them, like I DJ'd at a couple of places that's like a strip, I guess you can say like, not a strip mall, but it's like a roadway that's there's a whole bunch of stores and businesses and restaurants, and they have ordinance where they come in, people walk down the street and, actually with the dB meters, making sure the music doesn't come outside of that venue.
Yeah, exactly. I seen that. There's no ordinance that we have to, and the venue has to respect,
Mm-hmm. And then Kevin says, Instagram and TikTok are gaining. Yeah, that's the young people.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin also said Pinterest, he don't get. Yeah, I don't get it either. That's
it's confusing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there was a couple people I worked with that used Pinterest, but the one lady, she was making stuff and selling stuff, and that's what she posted all her stuff on Pinterest. I think it would be a good thing for DJs to get there, because it's more or less you're pushing your brand out there. Say, hey, I'm a DJ, Wilkes-Barre area or Wyoming Valley area or northeastern Pennsylvania. More or less, it's for selling products, selling different things, or selling your DJ services. But again, it's very hard. It's
not, Pinterest is not like a regular social media where you post like words. It's more so visuals. So the more visuals, the better your visuals are, the better that post will be. Because Pinterest was good for me as a teacher when I needed ideals, like bulletin board ideals, or people selling like worksheets or plays, or it gives me ideas as a music teacher of what I can bring back to my classroom. So that's that's how Pinterest helped me. So I guess trying to get ideas on how to, set up your equipment or do your lights or that kind of stuff, decorations.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, let me see. Cool Thing says he has a TikTok and YouTube page, and he uses Facebook and Instagram. Let me see. And then Kevin went on and says, wait a minute. His problem is he's too busy with songs, so he need a device just to record while he's doing other things. And that was me. So I have my Insta360, and that captures everything. And you use the DJI
360.
Right.
I haven't used it yet because I really, again, this year, a lot of the gigs I did, no videos, no pictures. The last one I did up at the Banks, that bride, she said, yeah, bring everything in, bring whatever you want to bring. But it was such a hot day. I didn't want to bring it with me because I'd be in and out of the car, and I have to leave that in the car while I was unpacking. And my luck, I would end up frying it. So I said, I'm just keeping it at home. I'll just use my phone for the day, and that's it,
Yep. I've seen DJs, especially the ones that have the bun booth kind of setups, where they have the long selfie sticks that stick into the hole. So therefore, they can get more of a downward
angle
video of them.
Yeah.
But with the 360, again, you have the front camera, back camera. With this one, you just have to remember how you set your camera, because it uses AI to stitch the front and the back, so it looks like you're looking around. But still right here, if you're like DJing and you have it set so the camera is like this, you can kind of like see the front of you and kind of like see the back of you, but you won't get a full picture. You can see where there's like a funny cut.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you put this and angle it a certain way that you'll be able to get a good picture, a panoramic view of your dance floor, your event.
Yes.
And then I bought one of these metal attachments.
They're great.
Yep.
They are great. And that they're magnets. That magnet is so strong that ain't coming off. You got to really pull on it for that to come off.
But not necessarily. I guess if you get some truth juice in your body, you can knock it off. Because the girl, I had to replace a lens because the girl from the last wedding I did, she was requesting songs, and when she turned around, my camera fell off. So, yeah. So
she got it at the right angle, you know.
Yeah. But I like this one because, and also I have like a little tripod, and when I remember to do it, I would sit this in the middle of the floor and do like a time lapse of me setting up, getting B-roll for my content. And this is good on battery, and it's just good for action, like taking action film. You can just set it and leave it and keep going. Also, I was thinking something about doing B-roll, actually setting up, I forget. I lost my train of thought.
I seen one video this week. The guy goes, "Oh, we're going to get a lot of video, a lot of B-roll this week. We're here 4.5 hours early at the venue." I'm like, I wish I could get to the venue 2.5 hours early. Honestly, 90%, 95% of the venues here in this area, they give you an hour. Some places give you a half hour to set up. It's like, I tell the manager, I said, I can't do this in a half hour. I can't do it in an hour. I need at least an hour and a half. And then it's a minimal setup again, because the time constraints, then you got to go up and down steps. It's like, how could you do it? It's so hard. And I'm thinking to myself, the cook is there cooking the meals. There's somebody else in the venue. Just open up the doors, let me in, so I could sit up. I'm going to go back home, get changed, and I'll be back down. But nope, they will not let. I guess if they let one DJ in and that DJ says something, then the other DJ is going to say, well, why don't you let me in early? And it'll just be boom, boom, snowball effect. So they just don't let anybody in. That's it.
I was going to say, because that goes back to my initial thought when I was looking at those DJ setups. I was like, I wonder how long do it actually take them to set all that stuff up, even with help. Because that's like, if you think about like when they do the concerts, or that's like when Raw or the WWE come to town, they have to come in like a day or so early, and they just work around the clock. And then then when it's over, they got to stay there for another day or so to tear everything down.
When they come here to the arena, they're here 2 days before the show. So like I'm going to say the show, the wrestling events are on Friday, and sometimes they're on TV from here at Wilkes-Barre, the arena here in Wilkes-Barre. But the trucks arrive early Wednesday morning, and they start setting up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all day up until maybe about 2 hours before they open up the doors. And those guys are setting up the lights, the props, everything, and they have hundreds of people working for them. It's only you and I that are doing our own stuff, so it's a lot of work, really a lot of work. When you come down and think about it, it's like, wow, I'm really breaking my back to get this. Make sure this couple has a great day. And no matter what, at the end of the day, we want to make sure we leave a smile on the bride and groom's face and have them give us a great review, and also just that smile, and have them say, man, thank you for DJing our wedding. That's the warmest thing that you can feel.
That made me think of my last Instagram post with the girl, because there was two sets of girls that came and asked me for a song request. One was a group of girls that was the it girls. So when they come, they think you're supposed to stop and cater to them. Then the other girl, the one that I actually showed in the video, she was polite, and she came and asked me nicely, and I gave her the clipboard. She wrote down her song, and at the end, because the video kind of like doesn't tell the whole story, it was one of those things. She gave me the song request, and it was that end of the night. People were getting ready to leave, and she thought I forgot about her song. And when I played it, that's when you heard her say yes and jumped up, because she thought I forgot about all of, about her request.
You talked about that one wedding I did. It was that short wedding, and the bride and groom didn't show up till late. And then I announced the last time, they danced the last time. Then I have the mother of the bride come up and say, Mike, I got 6 songs from our table, and they're must plays. Can you throw them on now? And I'm like, I'm sorry, my computer shut down, my hard drives are ejected already, and I'm done. You can't be done. I said, I was only booked to 7:30. I said, so I'm already 10 minutes over my time. I said, you guys got your cleanup to do, and I got my breakdown to do. So I'm sorry, I can't play it for you. No, and she wasn't mad about it. She just didn't realize what time it was. So, which was understandable. But yeah, I'm thinking to myself, you have all night to request this music. But again, this was a different wedding. It was a very short wedding. So did she forget that it was a short wedding? Didn't she forget? I don't know. But still, just jump up, say, hey, Mike, come up to see me. Could you play these songs throughout the night? Give me the 6 songs. And I would gladly get them in there for her. I try to accommodate everybody, except when they come up with some of these crazy songs. That's like, oh, no. I won't tell them, no, okay, I'll try to get it in for you. I'll try to fit it in and go from there. But if I can't get it, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But going back to Kevin, the other thing that I brought, because I was running into that problem myself. The easiest thing for me to be able to get like footage of my events is I bought these meta glasses. So I put those on, and like when I'm loading in or walking around the room, I'm constantly recording. So at least I have footage.
Yes.
And then also that's the other thing I was remember. The 360 is great for when you do your site visits. I take a 360 photograph, and then I turn it into a video, and then I upload it to YouTube. So therefore, when I'm talking with my clients, we can all take our, the YouTube video, and either you can take your camera and you can stand there and go like this, and the room will move just like you're standing in the middle of the room. Yeah. Or you can swipe left, up, down, and the room would move and zoom in. So I use that a lot with my 360 as well. So when we having those meetings, and we're trying to figure out where I'm going to set up and where the plugs are and all that, I can use that, and we don't have to be right there at the venue. I've done it and got the pictures for them, and we can basically do a virtual tour.
Well, what's nice when you take the pictures and you do the video, professional photography is above and beyond what we could do. But again, they can make something like the one venue that just closed down around here. It was an inn and resort, and they have a pool there. And I when I was in high school, I was into photography and everything, so I helped the photographer do the photo shoot. We were there from 6 o'clock in the morning till like 11:30 at night. The pool was so small, it was unbelievable. But when you seen, and that back then we were using film, so we didn't see the pictures till the following day. When Jerry developed the photos, and I'm like, Jerry, that ain't the same pool. He said, yeah, it's Mike, just the way I shoot the angles different ways. That pool looked enormous. I mean, it looked like it could fit 150 people. If you had 20, 25 people in that pool, you're cramped. But just the way that angle was shot, it looked so big. The area looked so big, and it was a very, very small area. But again, just the way you shoot it changes the perspective of the room. And now you say, man, they have a nice big pool in that place, and it isn't, far from it.
Mm-hmm. And then Kevin went on and said he needs an assistant. So only thing they have to do is film. But yeah, I have to do the Spider-Man, the old school Spider-Man, back in the 60s, the Spider-Man, that one. That guy, he always had to come and put his camera up like on a building and then go fight crime so he can get those pictures. So that's where I had to do it. Also, I have a whole bunch of, miscellaneous old phones. Even though they're not in service, the cameras and stuff still work, and you can still use it through Wi-Fi. I have multiple cameras going. I have one pointing at the dance floor, one pointing at me doing some stuff and all that, different, so I can get those different camera rolls.
Yes.
It's just a pain in the behind trying to edit everything. And then, of course, you got to make sure you have space.
On your phone, yes. And there's so many things at our disposal, but that we don't think of. I got an old phone, just throw it in the drawer or throw it in the box. Then you're going out and buying not an expensive camera, but you're buying a cheaper digital camera. You have the phone there. You can use that for shooting videos, for taking pictures, whatever you want. It's yours already. You don't have to buy it. You bought it already. But we forget about that. We threw it in the box and that was it.
And then I see your DJ setup sucks. It's in the house. I wonder if that's DJ
like
Troll. And let me go back and let me see where they'll live off at. Oh, Cool Thing says, I'm a solo op too, Mike. You forgot about him.
Yep, he is a solo op.
And then he says, with his setup, I set up at my events. It's so easy. I can do it in 30 minutes or under. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to upgrade to more compact stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, I set up as a solo op. It's a piece of cake. It's so easy. I even have time to make my setup look good with my Velcro ties before the event starts. And he says, I personally never had been asked if I had insurance, never in 8 years of being a DJ. Yeah, but I had it asked twice. The one at the Kingwoods that I just did, that last wedding, they asked me, and then I'm trying to think, where was the other one? I want to say that's the one I did in Youngstown, and that was like a Metro Park. It's like a Metro Park kind of venue where you can walk around the park, but then they have their outside wedding gazebo kind of thing, and then they have their reception hall, and then they have like a gift shop. It's a big, huge event, just like the Kingwood thing I did.
Yeah.
So I guess those kind of people want insurance.
Well, he's lucky he didn't have no venues to ask him, because honestly, a lot of the venues I do go to now, they know I have the insurance, but there's some venues that it's a new venue. As soon as I walk in, or even prior to me even arriving there, the venue manager will tell the bride and groom, please have your DJ contact me. And I contact them. Do you have insurance? Yes. Could you forward us a copy of the insurance? Yeah, no problem. I have it on my phone. I just sent it right to them. I said, do you want a text message or do you want it as a PDF? Either way, I could send it through a text message to you, or I could email it to you. Whatever way is easier for you, Mike. I said, okay, no problem. So some I'll email it. Some, if it's a crazy email address, I'll just text it back. Because I'll ask them, are you calling from a cell phone? Yeah. Boom. 1, 2, 3. I sent it right back to them.
Yeah. And then they just keep it on file.
Yeah. Let them print it out. I'm not going to waste my paper.
And it says, because Kevin has said a whole bunch of stuff.
And going for a cool thing. I mean, that's great that he can get his setups in like a half hour and stuff. There's some venues that are switching from steps to putting in ramps, which are great. But again, you look at the building, but it ain't that the door going into the building isn't that high off the ground. But when you build a ramp to make it the right way, you're going 50 yards this way, and then you're going back 50 yards this way, and then you're up on top of the deck, and then you're going in. It's great, no steps, but you're walking 100 yards before you're even getting into the building. So it does take you some time to get your equipment in there.
And Kevin asked, how much are those running? So I'm just going to go to Amazon the DJ Osmos 360. Isn't that the small camera? Like
The DJI Osmo 360, I think it's roughly around $400 and something.
yeah, they're $389,
That's-
but isn't it about this size?
No, the 360 is actually a little bigger. It's about as big as my phone. I don't know if you can
Okay.
see my phone or not.
Mhm.
Maybe a little smaller than my phone. That's basically it.
So it's $389 on all these prices are on well, I want to just share it. Let me move it over here. And then we can get into going to social media from the Zola webinar yesterday.
But what he's thinking of is the Nano is very small, and also like the Action 5, Action 6. They're great cameras. What I like about the Action 5 and 6 as opposed to the 360 or the Pocket 3 or Pocket 4 or Pocket 4 Pro, the action cameras, the 4, 5, and 6, they're waterproof. You could take them in a pool with you, everything. So they are awesome. They shoot amazing, amazing footage. And the one thing with the DJI, if you mess up your lens, you got to send it back to the company. It's not like what you have, Dwayne. You can replace the lens yourself. The DJI, you have to send it back to the company. And all the stuff that's going on with DJI now, do you really want to send it back to the company? Because you don't know if you're going to get it back. You know, I think the borders are opening for that. I think in August they're going to let DJI start selling their products back here in the U.S. again because they stopped them completely.
Mm. Yep. This Zoom, I can't figure out how to turn this automatic adjustment thing off.
Just
Yep. But,
yeah, I'm trying to stay.
hmm?
I'm trying to stay close to the middle. I'm watching my camera, so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not.
But I have the Insta360 X3. They're down to $300. The one thing I would say about this one, buy extra batteries, and you can't keep it plugged in or on constantly recording because the way it's made, your motherboard will overheat and it'll eventually fry. Because I end up having to send mine back to get repaired. But the X5, I can keep it plugged in all day and just have it just run. Because the way the body is made, the body has these little funny like groove things. So it can dispel the heat a lot better. And I think that was almost $600. I don't remember if I paid that much, but let me go back.
The price
they have
is fluctuate on that.
$549. And then you can buy, of course, you can buy them in bundles, so you'll be able to get them with the protective cover. Definitely get one of these covers for your lens, or at least a
definitely.
case. I have the case that came with it, because once you scratch those lens, you either gotta buy new lens, like a lens kit. A lens kit, and they came maybe 60. It wasn't a lot, but it's one of those things where it was more than what you thought the product should have been worth.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking that cap should only be like $10, just basically inflate that 6-7 times more.
Yeah. It's, and they know you need it, so you're gonna buy it because you don't want to put a video out there with a scratch in it. I don't care how good you are, you're not gonna be able to retouch that. There's no possible way it's gonna have that scratch in it because there's so many images moving through that area where there's that scratch in it, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then they have this cheap. I shouldn't say cheap. They have this off-brand one. I never heard of a Casso 360 for
Never heard of that.
$169.99. Only thing with going like super cheap, sometimes, yeah, it's affordable, but you don't get all the bells and whistles. It doesn't do what you think it should do.
Exactly.
And again, I don't know how they're going to, how it looks as far as stitching and the 360s and all that stuff.
Yeah. And that's one thing with the 360 cameras. You got to make sure that the stitching is good, because if not, your video is going to look like crap. Now, the Osmo 360, but the one thing nice about the Osmo family, you could take batteries and swap them from this to this to this. There's no, oh, I got this. I have the 360. Well, okay, I only have that battery for that. And then, oh, I got the Action 5. I need a battery for that. I got the Action 6. No, you could take that battery and go from the 4 right through the Osmo 6. So, or the Osmo 360. So, I mean, that's one thing nice about the DJI product family. You got one battery, it goes for all their devices.
Yeah, of course.
Except for the Nano.
Yeah. Of course, the Insta 360 group.
No.
You're asking too much.
Yeah.
But then also, I forgot, GoPro has a 360 too. And then theirs go for $229 and $299.
I didn't hear too many good reviews about theirs because they just came out with it not too long ago. I mean, GoPro was the top camera there for the longest time for action cameras. And it was just like, they thought they had everything wrapped up. Then you had DJI, you had your brand coming into it, and next thing you know, they just fell behind, and they fell further and further behind. So they're playing catch up now, and hopefully they can catch up to keep themselves afloat. The GoPro name is a good name. It's a great product. But when you fall that far behind, it's hard to catch up with the other products.
Mm-hmm. And then, let me see, going down. Well, get a pool needle to put it in. Oh, yeah, he was talking about my camera that got knocked over. But I like having mine right there because since it's small, and then with the X5 version, you could turn the lights off. Whereas the 360, the X3, I'm not sure if X4 can do it. There's like little recording lights that stay on, or the back screen stay on. This one, I can turn it completely, everything off and record. So therefore, people see it, but because it's so small and the way I have it, it kind of like fit my DJ setup, my black booth.
Yeah.
So it's not like right there, oh, a camera's on, or they don't realize that, the camera is on because of the red light and all that kind of stuff.
It's funny. We're talking about cameras and stuff, and all these DJs with these white setups, but then they got the black camera. It's like, whoa, wait a second, what do you got there? You're gonna watch. Somebody's gonna make a little cover for that black camera, make it a white camera now.
Mm-hmm. And then a lot of them also have it like off to the side, and it's usually on this very long pole that can like get everything down and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then what I'm surprised about this camera, the sound is pretty good, because I've used cameras where I didn't have to plug directly into the camera from my controller, because some cameras I either I have to record it within Serato, or use one of those reloop tape recorder kind of things to get a good sound. But then I also lose the ambience, the crowd noise and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But with this camera, it picks up the sound pretty good.
Yeah, I see these guys, they're doing a recording and they're using those Zoom things that they can plug into your mixer. And I mean, it sounds phenomenal. But like you said, you lose the ambiance of the guests, the people talking in the background. It's a great recording, but I like to hear people gabbing. I like to hear people walking and stuff like that. To me, that's more real than something that's perfect. You know, come on, let's hear some background noise. You have to. Or they'll do a recording of the video, then they throw their own music in on it. It's like, well, then why did you plug into my control or into my mixer for? You know, like wanted to catch my music, but then here you go over and put your own music in it too. So it's like, okay, you know, like you can't win for losing, you know.
But if they have YouTube, they don't want to pay YouTube money for their stuff. So I can see why they'll put that over. But that's one thing I shouldn't celebrate yet. I guess because sometimes, like this year, YouTube finally hit our collab that we did with Start to Spin when we was playing all those songs. Remember, I went a whole year because I only played a snippet and didn't get flagged or anything. And they finally flagged the video from like a month or so ago. So with my Instagram shorts, I guess because I'm talking over it, you have a good sound, but it's not perfect. So
Yeah,
they haven't monetized my video yet.
it's funny. And if you look at the countries that it's flagged in, like basically a lot of them are communist countries. Like I had some of my videos flagged, and it says, you know, it comes up to me that some people will not be able to hear this whole video. Okay. Then I look at the countries, Russia, China, North Korea. I'm like, do they have radios in these countries? Do they have YouTube in these countries? Apparently they do, but it has to be for the wealthy people of those countries. You know, and I'm thinking of North Korea. I'm thinking, well, it has to be, what's his name, the president of North Korea, because I don't think any of the citizens have YouTube. I don't think they even have a computer, you know?
And then going back to the comments, Kevin says it takes 2.5 hours, or no, he preferred 2.5 hours or more with a big setup. And then I just like to come early because I hate rushing, and then I still feel that anxiety and that stress because I'm rushing, trying to hurry up and set things up. I like to just be calm, not be calm like the couple shuffle. I don't need to be there that early, then stop, and then go out to dinner and eat and come back. And I don't need to be that early.
Their videos are so they're so hilarious and great. They're driving down the road and hi, you know, it's like oh my God, they're just so laid back. It's unbelievable. And you know, he's mixing on vinyl and he turns around, he starts talking to the camera. It's like, aren't you watching what's going on? You know, like but that is why they're a great couple, great people, great personalities. You can't beat them. God bless both of them, you know.
But I'm the opposite. And that's one thing I've noticed after doing that Insta 30-day challenge. I'm like, I don't be smiling. It's like I'm a technician. It's like I'm serious the whole time. It's like I'm not like Cool Thing. He's dancing and all that stuff. I was like, I gotta do that more. I gotta open up a little bit more.
I won't dance. I used to be very, very serious, and I used to be very like self-conscious of everything. But I got to the point, if we're all human. If we make a mistake pronouncing a name, okay, we made the mistake. Are the people really going to recognize it? Are they really going to pick up on it? 9 times out of 10, they don't. But one thing is, if God, you know, thank God I didn't do it. And you haven't done it. I've seen some DJs say the wrong couple coming in. You know, Mr. and Mrs. say it's supposed to be Smith, and they say Mr. and Mrs. Jones coming in. And they're like, oh, wait a second, you know, those DJs are taking too much on. They may have had a gig the night before, and that was Mr. and Mrs. Jones. And, you know, they're still thinking Mr. and Mrs. Jones because it stays in your head. And they get to that gig, and couple coming in, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and no, wait, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I say, oh, something like that. That's a game breaker right there. You try not to, especially the bride and groom, try not to mess up their names. We're human. We may do it, but shouldn't do the bride and groom's name. Even, how can I say, like, DJs will just keep on repeating the bride and groom, the bride and groom. They have a name. I put, bride and groom, but above that, I'll put their first name, their last name, and then below that, below the bride and groom, I'll put Mr. and Mrs. their name. So I can use their first names, or I could say Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm not going to say the bride and groom. The bride and groom, that's just the generic thing. But I see a lot of DJs on YouTube. All right, let's hear it for our bride and groom. Let's give it a big round of applause for our bride and groom. They got a name, use their name, But these DJs just fall into that. Not trap, but they just fall into it that they get so used to saying the bride and groom, that I know some of them have a script. They rewrite off a script. I don't like the script, nothing. Because every wedding's different. Every couple's different. I may jot some stuff down about the bride and groom that I could say, okay, this is what I'm going to say for the introductions. But just jot it down. I'm not making no script for this or for that. Just, I'm shooting from the hip. That's how I could say,
And that's how you mess up. I was getting ready to say the opposite. I was like, that's why you have to have systems in place. If you're at the point where you have back to back gigs, you have to have a system in place so you can separate each one. And then I used to be that way where I thought I needed to go out on not the dance floor, but I need to, when I talk to the audience, to be able to talk without having, like a, what do you call those, index card or something written down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't do that anymore. Because when I first started doing weddings and things, it never fails. Every time it was time for me to go out and make an announcement, somebody either say something or I have to stand and wait for a split second. And that second was long enough for me to forget what I was going to say. So now I just have a clipboard or a phone on my iPad, and I just open up the mic, say it. If I need to look down. And I also try to, when I speak or contact the client, I try to use the names that I'm going to use for that event that night.
Yes.
So therefore,
Yes.
I don't forget that it's so-and-so.
Yeah.
So I just started
Jeffrey and
calling
Amanda's
everybody
wedding.
their name. Yep.
Yeah. I like to call them by their first name. They hired you, you get to know them. They may book you a year, may book you 6 months, may book you a week before, but whatever, they're booking you, and it's common courtesy that we should use their name, not bride and groom this, bride and groom that. No. Jeff and Amanda. If you have back-to-back weddings, like I did that one, Gregory and Greg, I made the mistake. I called the groom Greg. He had written down Gregory. But then after I made that, I looked, I'm like, oh, and I put my hand on the microphone. I said, I'm sorry. And he's like, comes over after the introduction. He's like, dude, don't worry about it. He said, I'm the one who messed up. He said, I don't know why I put Gregory down. He said, everybody calls me Greg anyhow. So I don't know if it was his, at that time they were only engaged. They weren't married yet. Was it his future wife that said, oh, you got to use Gregory because that's your real name? I don't know. It's just something that she may have persuaded, or maybe his mom, somebody persuaded him to use his proper name instead of just saying Greg. Like me, Michael. People say me Mike. They'll call me Michael. Just don't call me late for supper. That's all,
Yeah, and I also got that in my Bible app, asking them how they want to be referred to. So
there's one DJ I watched a bunch of his videos. James King had him on his show last week. Loyalty. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'm saying young man. He did 40-something years or 20-something years in the service, Air Force. He's an amazing DJ. My hat goes off to him. He's really, really a good DJ, well-rounded person, and I salute him, man. He's amazing with some of the stuff that he's doing, and his videos. The one video, actually, Dwayne, he talks longer than you and I did. I mean,
okay.
he just.
And then Cool Thing has says he get the same thing with school dances where kids come up to him asking them for a song request after song request, even when it's close to the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I mainly use my iPhone 15 Pro Max for recording. And I might use my GoPro on certain gigs. And then he says he never owned a 360 camera. I did that because you see, am I still going? Mike, you still there? Let me see. It looks like I'm still going.
Yeah, your pictures. No, okay, now you're good. Your
Okay,
picture
because I was
froze
like,
up there.
I stopped and I still saw things going on. So I'll just keep on going.
Okay, you're good.
Oh, I got the 360 because now I got to move so I can get recentered. Hopefully it'll move me
That's
back.
okay.
But
I
because I got tired of using the multi phone cameras and missing things on the dance floor. I'm like, ooh, because every time I shoot the dance floor, I have this transition. I was like, oh, that would have been a cool thing to see me actually do the transition. Or if I'm filming myself, then something happens on the dance floor and you hear a reaction. I'll be like, ooh, I wish I could have got that moment.
Yeah.
So that's why I got the 360.
The 360, you capture everything, which is great. And like you said, my biggest thing is I forget to hit record. I don't know why. The camera's right there. All I gotta do is with my left hand hit record. Boom, I have it on a little tripod. Again, I forget to hit record. I don't know why. I have to put a note and tape it to the tripod. It says, hit me, you know?
I used to do that too. I used to get mad, especially when I was doing the multi-camera ones. But with this 360, because the battery life is so good, and then I have a terabyte memory card in it. So one of those little,
When did you get that?
the little teeny tiny one. This camera, I got this. It's coming up. It should be coming up a year maybe. I got it during the summer of last year.
You got it back then, because now that's probably a couple $100. Because I know my my hard drives for DJing, the Samsung T9, I think that's close to $1,200 now, the 4 terabyte one, and I only paid $200 and something for it, and it just boom. Since AI is taking over everything, that price is just. I honestly. If I was going to give up DJing, say next week, I would reformat all those hard drives and just sell them at $1,000 a piece. I'm still making $800 per hard drive. You know, like unbelievable.
And let's go down. And then Kevin said, I guess if you time it right, buy one of those cheap ones, try it out quickly before the 30-day period, and if it works, keep it. If not, send it back.
Well,
And
Kev,
then
what usually happens then, the 31st day, something happens to it. You know, you're like, I should have sent it back yesterday.
And then Cool Thing says, I love my GoPro Hero 13 Black. I use it for a lot of trail ride footage in my Polaris Razor XP4 100 Now, see, he's good at saying model numbers and remembering all that stuff. I don't
yeah.
remember that stuff.
No, me neither. I'm just at the DJI Action 5 or Action 6. I got my iPhone, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. But he goes right to depth of what he has. It's like, how did you remember that cool thing?
Mm-hmm. And then I see a Nuke 9868 is here.
Hello.
And he says, yeah, bride and groom calling them that is corny. Totally disconnects you from the couple that is paying you a premium for their day. On the other hand, some are so cheap, it confirms you get what you pay for. And then he laughs.
Yep.
And then, they said you have froze. So I guess we didn't go out this time.
No.
And then he also went on, and Nuke went on to say, I always tell people to at least keep practicing the names by talking to yourself if you have to, using their names over and over again in conversation on the way to their event. Simple and effective. And that's what I do when I have the long trips to these weddings.
Hey, I actually do it all week long. If I only have that one gig that weekend, if I only have that one wedding, all week long, I'll just keep saying their names over and over and over and over and over and over. And then I'll say Mr. and Mrs. whatever. Again, I'll just say Smith, Mr. Smith, Amy and Jordan, Amy and Jordan, Amy and Jordan, or whatever their names should be. Again, I hate to say Mr. and Mrs. It's just so blah. Like Nanook said, they're paying for a premium service. And even if you're only charging $1,000 for that gig, they're still paying you $1,000. Why are you using bride and groom, bride and groom, bride and groom? Say their name. Mm-hmm. I hate when a DJ does that.
But then at the same time, they do that for a reason. If you kind of like think about it, because that shows that there's no connection with your client. So that's part of why they do it. If there was a connection, then you wouldn't feel right just calling them a generic name.
No connection, and it shows you their experience and knowledge as of being a DJ, a wedding DJ. Mm-hmm. It's just, okay, well, we can tell this guy doesn't know his thing, he's going to grow into it. I mean, again, we all start somewhere. I know when I first started, I did say bride and groom a lot, but I broke out of that habit. Just watching other DJs, watching different things on YouTube, watching different things on Facebook. Then I say, oh, wait a second. Yeah, these guys they're correct. They're saying the names of the bride and groom. They're not saying bride and groom. So made a mental note of it, and then also made a note of it, not to call them by bride and groom.
Yeah, the only people that I feel funny calling them their first names, that I still just call them their last name, is like my principals.
Yeah.
My principals and my supervisors. It's like,
yeah.
And then I also don't follow them either. Rarely do I follow any of my like supervisor or boss things. It's just like, we just need to be separated.
Oh yeah. I don't know how it is for your teachers out in Cleveland, like the teachers here in the Wyoming Valley. They will have post Facebook pages or Instagram pages, and if they're at, like, say, at a wedding, they'll come up and say, Mike, please don't take no pictures of me. Or if you do take a picture of me, please don't post it to Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. And I tell them, that's a definite. I will not do that to you, because they are under such like a microscope. If they're drinking, if they're this, if they're that, they're human beings. They're gonna drink. They're gonna have a good time. But they're not allowed to have a good time since they're a teacher. Well, no, they're sending a bad example for their students. Well, maybe you should look at the parents too. Parents are setting bad examples too for the kids. The teachers need some freedom. It's just unbelievable. Mm-hmm. When they go to a wedding, they want to break out. I mean, that wedding I did a couple weeks ago, it was for a school teacher, both school teachers, bride and groom. They didn't care if I took pictures. They're like, listen, and their school district is they're not really lax on a lot of stuff, but they're more laid back. They know that they're human beings.
And then Cool Thing says he's always says newlyweds, and he say Mr. and Mrs. and their last name.
But then you got to watch that too, Cool Thing, because if you have a same-sex marriage, if I'm having a same-sex marriage, if it's two gentlemen, it'll be Mr. and Mr., Mr. and Mr., Mr. and Mr. All week long, I'll keep saying that. If it's two women, Mrs. and Mrs., Mrs. and Mrs. Don't say Miss and Mrs., Miss and Mrs., Mrs. and Mrs., Mrs. and Mrs. I'll go over that all week long, and it's just, you gotta think of that prior to, when they first book you, and then you have that final meeting with them like at least 2 weeks before their wedding. That week of the wedding, all week long, I will just say their names, Jeff and Steve, Mr. and Mr., Mr. and Mr., just to get it in my head. So I don't say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce our couple, Mr. and Mrs., and it's, supposed to be Mr. and Mr., I goofed up, but I haven't done that, but because I practice it.
Yep. And then Kevin says he say a variety of different things. And Nuke says, yes, absolutely that. But when it's back-to-back wedding weekends, I have to pretty much forget Friday night's couple in lieu of Saturday night's couple.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin went on to say, I think eventually the audience gets tired of you saying their names all the time.
Well, I don't like to be on the microphone that much. It's just the initial beginning of the night. And then maybe throughout the course of the night, I may say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jessica out there. She's our lovely bride. Come on, everybody, join her out on the dance floor. Again, that's one thing I go with the bride and groom, especially the bride, because they're usually the ones that love to dance, the women. Wherever you're at, that's where your guests are going to be. If you're outside, they're going to be outside. If you're on the dance floor, they're going to be on the dance floor. You're the honeybee. They're following you around like unbelievable. So try to get that in their heads that, please, I know you're going to want to, if you smoke, you're going to want to go and have a cigarette or whatever, but try to spend as much time on the dance floor as you can. Don't be spending the time at the bar. Mm-hmm. You want to remember your day. If you get a little too intoxicated, your wedding days are blurred to you. You're looking back at pictures, you're looking back at videos, and you say, oh boy, did I do that? Was that me? It's, and then they feel bad.
And then Kevin says he say bride and groom. I alternate between. I don't say the same thing over and over.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you think about it, it kind of like the situation kind of like dictates on how you address them. Either first name, because it could be appropriate to say their first names, or the Mr. and Miss. Like when you like for the first time, Mr. and Miss, or however they want you to adjust them. Mrs. Or sometimes I'll say the newlyweds would like you to join them here. So it's easier for me to just say newlyweds or something simple as opposed to each and every name and making it long.
There's a time and place for everything. Like you said, like the newlyweds like to have you join them on the dance floor for this nice slow song. The thing is, you don't want to over repeat their names on the microphone. You don't want to be on the microphone that much during a wedding because they're paying for music. You're not a radio DJ. You are a wedding DJ. The more time you spend on the microphone, the less time they're out there dancing, having a good time. They're going, oh boy. They might be on a dance floor, but they're thinking to themselves, man, that DJ, if he doesn't shut up already, like really? So I try to stay at the microphone as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. And then Will said he uses a yellow marker to highlight their names on the paperwork so your eyes will be directed if you forget their names.
And he says newlyweds also.
Let me see. Yeah, he says newlyweds. Yep. And Cool Thing says, yeah, because I was thinking when you said Cool Thing, what if you do a same-sex wedding? I was like, wait a minute, you was on the show because you be giving him the business on Monday nights. I'm like, Cool Thing wouldn't do that kind of wedding to begin with.
After I said it, but for the other DJs that are out in the audience here, I want to make sure that they know that. Like, go over that. I know Cool Thing wouldn't do that, but to the other DJs like Will, all the other DJs that are out there, please, if you have a same-sex marriage, go over. If it's Mr., Mrs., and Mrs., Mr. and Mr., go over that all week long. Believe me, because you don't want to make that mistake.
Mm-hmm. And then before we head on out, again, thanks to Kevin for alerting me about it because I didn't hear about the Zola webinar that happened yesterday. So I took some slides.
I missed that.
Yep. I took pictures of some slides. And here's the main things. They were talking about how to promote yourself online. And again, for those that missed it at the beginning, they said Instagram should be your jump off point. That's the main thing to have. Then TikTok is another place that they found, I guess they did some kind of research or survey, just like the way the Not one did. They said TikTok was another place that a lot of couples look for their vendor. Because it seemed like Zola was more so talking to your wedding coordinators or photographers, and DJs came in third. So that's who they seemed like they were more so talking to, well, at least on this webinar. And these are the three things they said, ideas you can do this week. And these are the three things. It sounds like it's a lot, but after I did that challenge, it's not. It says record yourself working. So that again, that comes back to being able to have a camera on a tripod, just sitting down and you just doing stuff, working. It doesn't have to be polished. And that's the thing I was running into because I was used to doing YouTube videos and Instagram videos. It doesn't necessarily need that YouTube finish. In fact, that can kind of like hurt you in a way because people will look for you to be authentic and raw, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly. You said it the best way.
And it says, use quick clips of your setup, arranging items, packing your gear, and doing your craft with a text overlay. And that's another big thing, using text overlay. So when people are at work and shouldn't be on their phones or, Instagram and all that, they can kind of like still get an idea of what's going on by just reading. And then just showing what you love to do. So I have a lot of like time lapse. I have video of me driving to the weddings that's down south, and then I have my little script or names and stuff, and I'm practicing that. I have video of me doing that. Again, using the Meta glasses, having that on when I walk into the venue. That's another way to get B-roll footage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then the second one is the before and after video or photo carousel. That's the one that I have. I did it the last time back in May, but that's the one that I need to do more often. The before and after, with the way the room looked before, the way the room looked after I set the uplights and all that kind of stuff. And then the talking heads talking to the camera, getting used to when that red light is on, looking at the camera, speaking clearly. Don't worry about so much of making a mistake because that's what used to hold me back. because I thought you needed to make sure it was perfect going from beginning to end. But they're like, my coach was like, you can have your script or whatever you're going to say to the side, look at it, then come back, freeze, say it, then freeze, then go back, look at it, say it, and then freeze. Or if you make a mistake, just pause, keep that same kind of frozen thing, and then say it again. So when you edit, you have a nice clean edit. So you might see a little jump, but it won't be like no drastic going back and forth. It makes your edits cleaner, and you can get what you're going to say out quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the talking heads, I didn't think people want to listen to me talk. But after posting all those reels, I found that the ones that I actually just talked and really didn't do all that extra stuff was the ones that they seemed to get the most views and all that interaction stuff. And then her quick tips was always have your captions on your videos. And the captions are the descriptions of the video. And the key thing for the captions is make sure if you're looking to be like a wedding, if you're looking to appeal to the wedding DJs or the school dance kind of people or corporate events, make sure you put those words in your captions. And also, even though it sounds corny, make sure you say that inside of your video. Because from what I'm understanding, the algorithms don't look at your hashtags anymore on Instagram.
No.
They look for keywords. So if you say, like for me, I'm a wedding DJ in Cleveland, Ohio, or Northeast Ohio, and then put that also in my captions, then that tells the algorithm that's the kind of content that they'll try to push out to those that's looking for a wedding DJ or someone in Cleveland, and you get more hits that way.
I seen that video from Jason Jen I was at last week, and he went on about talking about like when he first started in the business, and he basically wanted to be specifically just a wedding DJ. And he said that actually hurt us, you know, his company and his brand, because they were more than just wedding DJs. But he specifically kept on repeating that in his videos. The wedding DJs, we were wedding DJs, and he's like, we just started losing all these other gigs and couldn't understand why. And then so he said, well, listen, when you go on YouTube, go watch your videos, see what you're saying. You're not saying you're you know, doing graduation parties, you're doing anniversary parties, you're doing this, doing that. You're specifically saying just wedding DJ. So people forget that you are a DJ for all events, you know. So what I try to do when I do create some content, I'll say I'm a wedding DJ. I specialize in weddings, but I'm a all event DJ also, you know. So it widens. Don't, because I was doing that too. Yeah,
I was doing that too, because you don't do that. See, that's why, because remember, you're only doing a short Instagram video. It's not like YouTube where YouTube rewards long videos. Instagram rewards short. It's okay to do the same video, just do one saying for weddings. Do the same thing, but say corporate events. Do the same thing again and say school dances. Because I thought the same thing. And what I found out was, again, you're trying to use the algorithm to push your content in front of a potential client. So therefore, if you put all those different things in, like I'm a wedding DJ, and then say I do school dances and all that, then the algorithm is not going to know who to push your content out to.
Yes.
So
Joe was talking about, because back then it was only YouTube. It wasn't Instagram. It wasn't Facebook. It was just basically YouTube. And I guess, you know, was it a friend or relative said, hey, listen, that's why you're losing business, because you're not incorporating everything. So then he started incorporating everything just for YouTube. And now he said, he did bring that up for Instagram. He said, we specifically make a video for weddings, corporate, this right down the way. You know, the one thing I'm going to exclude is graduation parties. You know, I just can't do them no more.
And then with Instagram, also you can highlight your videos. So underneath your, let me see if I can show you. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, you can create little highlight sections on your Instagram. But I'm trying to learn how to get everything in there cleanly, because sometimes me being old and not knowing how to use these platforms through my phone, it seems like
how old are you?
I'll be 58 I'll be 58 Tuesday.
I'll be 61 Saturday.
Okay.
So
Happy
you're August what?
Pre-birthday.
August 4th? August 5th. August 1st, Saturday, 2nd, 3rd. You're August 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mother-in-law's birthday was August 3rd, but she passed away when my wife was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Leos.
Yep.
Gotta go together, man.
Yep.
we stick together.
And Instagram allows you to highlight certain kinds of videos. So therefore, I have one for our podcast. So all the ones that's like the cue it up kind of podcast, clips, I'll put it under there. So when you click on it, you just see those kind of reels. And then I have one for my school event, corporate. I haven't put anything for my setups, but I need to start putting stuff up there. And then like weddings and my reviews here. So yeah, you can make highlights. So when they come to your Instagram profile, they can go right to those videos and they can see everything that they need to see for that event.
I'm looking at the video here because I'm looking at my PC, and Angie's there. I wish she was a wedding coordinator here in our area, because she was so dead on with everything, every aspect from pre-wedding to after wedding. She was unbelievable. My hat goes off to her. She is one heck of a wedding coordinator and one heck of a person. She can't guarantee anything in life. She gives it 110% for every event that she handles. She doesn't put one event higher than another. They're all at that same level. So you worked with an angel that day, honestly.
And
we got to get her to have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
She would boom. She would really grow that channel like you wouldn't believe.
Mm-hmm. And then video content. They said video content is always better for reaching new couples. Again, make sure in your captions and in your video that you say whatever, I guess you can say, audience that you want to reach. So the algorithm can make sure it pushes that content to that group of people.
Yes.
And then the last one, pin your best post to your profile. So it's the first thing people see. So on Instagram, I think you can only pin three things.
Okay. Oh, thank you, cool thing. He wished us happy birthday.
All right, thanks, cool thing.
And so did Will. Thank you, Willie.
Thanks, Will. And then the things that homework that she gave them, I got to sign up for Zola. I thought I had signed up for it a while back when I redid my website, but I got to sign up. They want people to start to create a TikTok account for your business if you don't already have one. It's just, I don't know about TikTok. I don't know. I guess because I'm too old. I'm getting older, so I'm like having a hard time with YouTube and keeping up with Instagram. And the only reason I can do Facebook is because I can post on Instagram and automatically send it to Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was last week's video or the week before. I was talking to you where I did was it a school event or something? And again, I was, these people are younger. They're high school, junior high kids. And I started quick mixing, and they're like, they stopped. They're like looking at me like, "What are you doing, Mike?" I'm like, "Don't you want me to quick mix? You're doing some TikTok videos." And they said, "Yeah, but we still want to hear the whole song." So they were creating like maybe 15 seconds of this part, 15 seconds of that part, and 15 seconds of another part, but they still wanted to hear that whole song. Like, wow. I said, because I go on TikTok and I see these people and they're doing 20 seconds of a song and then boom, they're going to something else. They said, yeah, but we actually create a whole video. We create videos from one song, but we post them at different times. So, okay, you have it this song, then you have it that song, then you may go back to the other song. Like, okay, I thought you just wanted quick mixing. I'm so sorry. So I played the song out for them. They enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It caught me off guard because I going by the way I see TikTok, seeing how people are posting, I'm thinking, well, it's just a short clip, it just a hook of the song, whatever. And no, these kids wanted everything.
quick mixing. It's like it's a way that you have to do it, just like scratching. It's a way that you have to do it in order for it to work. Because if you can't scratch or you just messing up the song, then they're not going to want the scratching. No. Quick mixing, you gotta look at what's going on the dance floor.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
With the kids, it's not about just jumping from song to song quickly. It's about getting to the parts, the main part, or I guess you could say the meat of the songs, so they can come do what they're going to do and then move on. Because with the kids, yes, I noticed, even though they may say they need a whole song, but if you're going from one song, play the whole thing to the next one, they're going to come, do whatever they're going to do, and then they're going to leave. And then you got the empty dance floor. Yeah. So you have to be able to know or have I guess you could say, some kind of plan for quick mixing. You can't just play a song a few seconds, then jump to the next one and jump to the next one. You also got to watch to make sure you're not playing a song and then about time someone hears the song and they come to the dance floor, you changing it. Now you just created an awkward moment. So you got to kind of watch what you're doing when you mix, period. Whether you playing whole songs or quick mixing. But that brings us to the big conversation of today. I guess this is the big conversation that was on Facebook. In the DJ Hip Desk, someone had posted, it seems like quick mixing has been a hot topic lately, so this is a timely comment in a questionnaire from one of my wedding clients this weekend. And he asked, list up to 3 things you did not like at your previous weddings you have attended, seen on TV, or have seen online. And then it went on, when the DJ skips the best parts of the songs. We went to one wedding where everything felt like a remix and we missed the chorus of the songs we love. No slow songs during dancing. And then I guess it went on to basically the quick mixing kind of thing. So what are y'all's thoughts?
I'll do some quick mixing, but it's towards the end of the night. Unless I see the dance floor starting to diminish, then boom, I'll quick mix. I'll get something else in there because I may get a request. Oh, everybody loves the song. They're gonna dance, and they do start dancing. Next thing you know, they start leaving the dance floor. It's like, oh wait, I don't want to lose them, so I'll out of that song and into another one, and they come back. That's just like wordplay. That's a new thing besides quick mixing. A very prominent DJ, I'm not going to say his name here live, he admitted he does wordplay, but everything's pre-recorded. And then he has it there. But I'm thinking, well, how does he know what they're going to request? Well, he's a wedding DJ. He gets he gets a sheet from the bride and groom, and he'll pick out a couple songs that he'll do a wordplay with. And he pre-records everything. I don't know if he uses DJ Studio or whatever.
You
And
know
he,
you can buy that.
oh yeah,
You can buy them already like that.
he actually admitted that he is too old to be doing this stuff as wordplay. So that's why he does it pre-record it. He makes it the recording himself. And then another DJ said that this new thing is people are making mixes, and it's like the one mix that he played was so corny. It was unbelievable. It was something about being drunk or something like that. And he's like, guy comes to me, he goes, "Can you play this for me?" So I listen to it. He's like, "I don't have that." "Oh no, this guy's on YouTube. He did this. Can you get it?" He's like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't get that." He said, "Yeah, I could have got it," but he said, "No." I said, "I'm not getting it," and he just moved on from it. But again, with the quick mixing, there's a time and place for everything. That's what I could say. Gotta watch your crowd, watch what is going on. But towards the end of the night, people are usually pretty intoxicated, and they want to really rave and get out there, and they want to be hands flying up in the air and stuff like that. So right then and there, you could quick mix and jump in and out of songs, and they'll go even crazier. They'll be like, "Yeah, all right,"
And then let me see. Thanks, Big J DJ Service and Cool Thing. They said awesome show.
Thank you both.
And then Will says, if you're not sure when to mix, just get the quick edit instead of the full song.
Mm-hmm.
Just be ready to mix goes by quick.
One of the worst mistakes I made.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting a lot of requests from Meatloaf, Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. And it has that one section in there with Phil Rizzuto talks. It's like over 8 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to knock him out. I'm just going to cut it, splice that song together. It'll knock like close to a minute off the song. Well, I played it at the one wedding, and I had like 10 people come up and say, "What happened to the section where Phil Rizzuto is speaking?" I said, "Well, this is the edited version without him speaking in it." He said, "Well, could you play the one with him speaking?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'll get back to it." "No, we want to hear it now." I'm like, "You just danced to the song. It's a little over 7 minutes. You want to hear it again right now?" "Yes." I'm like, "All right, give me a show of hands," and all 10 raise their hands. I'm like, "Oh." I had to play it. So they danced 7 minutes, and then they danced like 8 minutes and 46 seconds again to the same song. I'm like, okay, time for a smoke break. I snuck outside, like unbelievable. So that's
and then Buddies joined us. And then Cool Thing said he never quick mixes at any of his events. I try to keep it to like verse, chorus, maybe second verse, and then start to try to mix out on the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, it goes back to what's going on the dance floor. Because if they groove into it, I'm not going to like mess it up. Or because there's many times I played a song where it seemed like people left the dance floor, and then I got ready to mix out, and then somebody will come, another group will come. When I was getting ready to mix out, I was like, "You, couple of more seconds, you all would have missed it."
Yeah. Well, Brian had a good video, and he's talking about slow dances. Like some couples don't want to hear a slow dance after a wedding. He says, "Do you realize a lot of slow dances are very short?" And I don't know if that was his exact terminology, but if you really think of it, a slow dance, especially like from the 70s or from the 50s, especially the 50s, it's a little over 2 minutes long. By the time the people realize that slow dance is on, it's about halfway through. So they come out and they dance for the last 45 seconds of the song, and it's over. I mean, how hard is it to play a little like a 2 minute slow dance song? play it for them. People love it.
At weddings, I try to throw in slow songs because you got couples there.
Mm-hmm.
So throw a slow song on so the couples can do what they need to. I shouldn't say like they go get busy on the dance floor, so they can enjoy each other. Give them some time, and then also allow the event to breathe a little bit. If you're going
Exactly.
at this, this pace all the time, just slow it down so you can build it back up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that's what happened at the last wedding that I did. The bride didn't want slow songs, but at the same time, I'm like, I played all of you all songs the entire night, and I noticed that there was other people sitting there, and if they didn't want it, they wouldn't have requested several slow songs. So at least I know there was a group that I played for. So.
Well, we got a couple new people in the chat. I see. I can't read it because I don't have my glasses. I got to bring them up with me next week.
Sean is here. And Anouk says, read the room, apply whatever fits for the room. But I also do crazy quick mixes when it's almost time to go. And I really want to squeeze in as many bangers that always have them saying one more song endings. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think of it at the end of the night like the fireworks show, where they just have the fireworks that's going crazy. And then Buddy said, I would do 80 to 90% on most songs. Some you can get out before that. It's what is going on the floor. And then Sean said, I maybe play 1 to 2 slow songs. They are vibe killers. And then also it's for the older people. Older people are more likely dance to the slower ones.
Yes. I mean, you gotta. I tell everybody in Groom, you're inviting your neighbors, your relatives. You're gonna have a wide variety of ages. Some might be up in their 80s. Some might be in their early 20s. Mm. So you wanna incorporate everybody into your wedding. You're inviting them there, and then if you're gonna go with this music that's gonna exclude them, then why did you invite them? Was it just for the gift? They're giving you a gift. Your gift back to them is the music. Mm. 6 months from now, they're not going to remember what they ate, but they'll remember the DJ and they'll remember the music. It could be a year, it could be even 2 years. They'll still remember the DJ and they'll still remember the music.
And then Sean's saying it kills the vibe. He haven't been to some of them parties I've been to. Playing a slow song like Pony, bump, 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 or those in some H-Town and all that stuff. You see some stuff on the dance floor.
Yeah. Whoa. I don't know if you ever heard this song, You Can Leave Your Hat On by Joe Cocker.
Mm-mm.
Listen to that one.
Okay.
It's a slow song, but it's very seductive. Mm. And you want to see some grinding. Oh, boy. You're going to see some grinding, believe me. It's like, whoa. Uh-huh.
And then Nuke says, even the ending is planned to leave me enough time to seem like I'm doing one more song. And it's then either a slow song, and it's most recent, The Last Dance by Donna Summer, and all generations got it in. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I always try to do as well, because this used to be, I got caught with the one more song or the encore and not have a song ready. That's why I always have my end of the night crate. So if I get that one more, I can have something I can go to real quick.
I'll tell you, I was just going to bring that up. I'm glad you did. People don't realize they're at a wedding. They're not at a concert. They're not at a local bar or pub or whatever. And the DJs that are playing, usually at a venue, when they say 10 o'clock, it's over. Mm-hmm. 10 o'clock, it's over. Boom, lights come on. Air conditioning shut off 15 minutes before, so you start sweating. They want people out. and they say encore, encore, one more song. Then I'll look over at the manager and they'll just shake their head no. I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I wish I could, but management has to get their staff out here and clean up everything. And they'll still one more. I'm so sorry. It's not me making this decision. It's management of the venue, and management doesn't care I say that because they want the people out there because they want to get cleaned up. They may have another event the next morning. It might be a Sunday morning. It might be a baby shower. It might be a bridal shower, whatever. So that staff has to get out of there. By the time they clean up and everything, they're getting out of there at 11:30. So if I play one more song, even though it's a 3 or 4 minute song, guess what? They're going to hear one more song after that. And then maybe one more song. And it's like, next thing you know, you're there for an extra 15 minutes. Once the manager says, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I hate not doing it. But again, I got to think of management. If I disrespect the venue manager, guess what? They say, oh, Jesus, here comes Mike back again. He's going to be playing 2 or 3 encore songs. Staff, get ready. We're here for an extra 15 minutes. You got to cater to both. And I'll tell the guests, listen, you had 5 hours of music all night tonight. I hope you really enjoyed it. But again, our venue manager, our staff has to get in here and clean up. So, ladies and gentlemen, please drive safe on your way home. If you're intoxicated, take an Uber or drive home with somebody. So this way, it more or less, it's washing your hands that you're not the bad guy because you can't play that one more encore song. It just, you can't do it because management doesn't allow you to do it.
Mm-hmm. And then Will had wanted to know what slow songs you guys use.
Faithfully is one. When a Man Loves a Woman. When a Man Loves a Woman. That's Louis Armstrong. I'm trying to think of my other one. What a Wonderful World.
Mm-hmm.
I for some reason, people love the 50 slow songs. I don't know why. The only reason I can think why they love them is because they're short and they're sweet. Some might be only like 1 minute and 48 seconds long. Some are maybe 2 minutes and 12 seconds long, 2:20. They're not a 4, 5, 6 minute slow song. Cool Thing Said Perfect by Ed Sheeran.
Mm.
That is such a beautiful song, but look at the length of the song. It's over 4 minutes. Some people don't want to dance 4 minutes. They want that short, sweet, boom, and they're out to dance floor.
Yeah, because it depends. If I'm doing like a throwback, you have like My Girl by the Temptations. You have, I was going to say Perfect, but you have Unchained Melodies. Elvis Presley got one. What is it? Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Falling in love with you?
Hand, huh?
Take my whole life.
That one.
I can't help falling in love with you.
And then,
wise men say. I don't want to start singing.
And then for my pop, it would be like again, Perfect, All of Me. Perfect, All of Me. I had one. I can't, because it falls right with Perfect. When a Man Loves a Woman, that one.
Yeah.
But and then if it's like a urban kind of event, Casey and JoJo, All My Life.
Yes.
All My Life. And then again, Pony by Genuine. What's another one? It's like All My Life, Pony. If it's a line dance kind of thing, Summer Channel Evening by the Temptations. And then Tamia,
Yes.
I think it's So Into You. It's whatever the Tamia line dance one is. Can We Talk is another one. by Tevin Campbell.
Okay.
And then Prince have one. It's not Scandalous,
You know,
I think it is. But it's one that Prince does that a lot of people like too. So those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head without me having to cheat, because that's why I tag my music in my Serato. So I do slow songs, and then all my slow songs come up, and then I click a button to make all my 5-star slow songs appear, and I go right to those clicks. But yeah, it'd be like
I tag mine as love songs,
mhm.
you know, and then again, I like, I'll play anyone that they want, but most of people gravitate, even the younger generation, they'll gravitate to the 50s because it's, again, short, sweet, it's to the point, and it's a 2-minute dance. Because you know what happens? The female wants to dance. The guy's like, oh man, I gotta put my beard out. You know, he's going out to the floor. So she gets 2 minutes of dancing with him. She's happy, he's happy, and he can go back to his drinking. And you know.
And then I forgot Whitney Houston's the song from The Bodyguard.
Oh yeah, that is.
What's that? And
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. She's gone too soon. Her, Prince, Michael Jackson, gone way too soon. So much talent that's gone.
And let me see. Oh yeah, Careless Whispers by Wham. Yup.
Unchained Melody. You said Unchained Melody also.
Yep. Yeah, that saxophone one. Groove. And let's see, there's some more time to play one more song. Buddy said, customers get mad if you do that a minute or two at the most. I guess I'm wondering if he's talking about quick mixing. Oh, he's talking about when the venue going overtime. Because he said some venues would charge the DJ a fee if you do that. Yeah.
Oh, matter of fact, the one venue, thank God that the daughter took over when the parents were running it. If I played over 1 minute, the bride and groom got charged for a half hour, and it was $500 for a half hour. I'm like, excuse me, and the mom. She was straight from Italy. She goes, DJ Mikey, you go 1 minute over, that's it. The bride and groom, they get charged $500. So I went over, I told the bride and groom, they're like, okay, we'll tell people no encore music. It's just 10 o'clock, you're done. And I would watch my watch. And as soon as that big hand hit 10, I don't care if I was in the middle of a song. Boom, I was done. I was done. The microphones or my hard drives were getting ejected. I get on the microphone. I was short, sweet, boom, unplug everything, and man, she didn't care how long it took you to get out of there, but 10 o'clock, music had to stop.
Yep. And that's why, and Will said that's why he stops 5 minutes before. And then
I have one venue, they want music stop 15 minutes before. It's just like you make your last call at, I'll say 10:30, or say 9:30, 9:45. I have to be done too. But that's their rules, so you gotta oblige by them. You know, you gotta stick to them.
Yep. And then Anouk says, absolutely. That's why I plan for it to end all of them on time. And then DJ Pretty Boys is here in the chat.
Hello, Pretty Boy.
Yep. He says he plays for the cleaning crew. Yeah, I might do that. I might play like hook something up to or Bluetooth to my speaker and like it'll be the last speaker or the last thing I take down. So there's some music keep going.
You know you're having a good night is when the staff comes out of the kitchen like the waiters and waitresses, and they're standing by the wall, and then they start dancing.
Mm-hmm.
You know you had a great night because you get the staff to start jiving. It's awesome. That's icing on the cake right there.
Mm-hmm. And then Kevin said the Barney "I Love You" song. That's my. I guess you could say that's my troll song for the kids group because if I play that when I usually go into the Einstein, because there's an Einstein like a hip hop version of Lil Einstein thing, and then that's when I start hitting some of these rap or TikTok songs that sound like a cartoon, and it could be like SpongeBob would probably fit in there somewhere.
You said that. I'm thinking of I Ripped My Pants by SpongeBob.
And then Buddy says, Jimmy Buffett, why don't we get drunk?
And screw.
Yeah. And then Kevin said, all of me. And then can't take my eyes off you.
Mm-hmm.
Will said, wonderful tonight at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then DJ Pretty Boy said, I usually have a MC and my helpers start picking up lights and tearing down stuff while I play a few songs for the cleaning crew.
Look at that guy.
Kevin went on to mention Wonderful World, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Oh, I forgot. That just reminded me of the Aladdin song. Whole New World. Whole New World from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Regina Bella and Herbie. Dang it, I forget their names. So, but you all know what I'm talking about.
Yes. There's so much great music out there. Yeah, there's a lot of artists that come and go. And there's a lot of artists that you think are going to just come and go, and they stick around and they put some great music out. It's unbelievable. And the ones that you think are going to stick around, they may release one album, maybe two, and then like, where did they go? What happened to them? It's just, unfortunately, they're making their money, and especially like a lot of the groups from the 80s, like that new wave genre they had back then, those guys made one or two albums, and now they're still involved in the music, but they're producing, they're doing this, they're remastering stuff. So they're still, again, in the music industry, but in a different form of being in it. They're not singing no more, they're not performing no more, they're not touring no more. They're the behind the scenes guys that know what to do.
Mm. And then from being from Cleveland, you got to always play some Levert or Gerald Levert or LSG. Those are slow song artists that you got to play, or some Keith Sweat.
Yes.
A lot of the people about my age, for some reason, they love them some Keith Sweat.
We have Philadelphia, Daryl Howell and John Oates, Sarah Smile. That's a beautiful, beautiful song. One of the guys I really, really love is Sam Cooke.
Mm-hmm.
He's phenomenal. A phenomenal artist. Again, back in the 50s, he just, I don't know, it's something about that era. I don't care your age group. Everybody relates to that music. But I think, okay, I have a young couple coming up. I'm thinking, oh, they're going to want something from today. And stuff. Hey, you got Run Around Sue? I'm like, yeah, I got that for you. Like, really, you want to hear that? Yeah, we want to hear it. And I have an older person come up and say, hey, you got that song? It's about a shark or something. Like, how do you know about the song? Well, not realizing they babysit for their grandchildren, and they just get attached to that song because they're attached to their grandchildren.
Yep. And then Will went on to say Unchained Melody and Run to You by Whitney. Cool Thing went How Deep Is Your Love by Bee Gees.
Mm-hmm.
And after party, maybe for a hot second, buddy.
Melt's a good one too, honestly. And it's a rock song. You shook me all night long. It's not a slow song, but it's a great song. Like towards the end of the night, coming out of a slow set, you throw it in, boom.
Mm-hmm. And then DJ Pretty Boy said, low key, that's his goal, to get the working people to dance too. But yeah, I don't play it for a long time if I play it, because again, just like what you were saying earlier, sometimes, I should say most of the times, a lot of the people that throw parties, they think because they have the venue from, let's say, 8 to 12, they want to stop at 12. I'm like, you got to give me time to pack up, because the venue said that we had to be out by 12. So you got to stop early. Sometimes I don't have time to like be neat and play music. I got to tear it, everything down within the hour and be out, not just tore down. I got to be out the venue.
Yeah. The worst are the outdoor venues, and you're under the tent, and it's supposed to end at 10 o'clock, and it ends at 10 o'clock, and then all of a sudden, poof, they shut the lights off. And it's like, whoa, wait a second, I'm still underneath this tent. Turn those lights on, because I mean, it is black as coal. You stick your hand out in front of your face, you can't see your hand. It's like, wait a second, I'm getting my phone, I'm hitting the light on that, but you're underneath the tent that's 75 yards long, and your little light on your phone doesn't shine that far,
That's why I like the battery operated lights that I have from Rockville. I just set that up so I can at least have that. And then on my generator, I have a light. And then I have, I got it for Christmas. It was from JCPenney's, and it's a light that you can open up that have a whole bunch of tools. So I have all those different lights going on.
I have a couple flashlights that are LED that they're rechargeable. And then I have ones like a you can set it any way you want, but I set it like a pyramid, and it shows light in front of you and shows light behind you. So which I'm happy with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got that at Harbor Freight. I think it was like $9.99 or something like that. It's unbelievable.
Then Will said New York, New York.
Oh God, yeah.
And then also, if you're gonna play that, you got I Did It My Way. That's another favorite that people like to end with. And then Anouk said, fun fact, Morse Day and the Time is still touring like crazy. Yep. I see them every time they come to Cleveland. And you know what's funny? They still do the same intro, and everything is pretty much the same. But it's still, for some reason, when I see them, I don't care. I know exactly every beat. I can almost get up there and play it. It's like, but I don't even care.
I mean, it's just like Cheap Trick. I've seen them so many times in concert. I love them. Eddie Money, before he passed away, I've seen him so many times in concert. Bon Jovi. I've seen Prince. I had it. Thank God I got the chance to see him before he passed away. He was phenomenal. Neil Diamond, I've seen him twice in concert. I mean, God gave them such a talent that the only thing we could do is replicate it through their songs in a digital format, which I'm happy to be able to do that. Like you said, you see Morse Day and the Time Band. Like Cheap Trick, they've been touring since the 1970s. They never come off the road. They're always touring, and these guys are in their middle to late 70s. Like, wow, I wish I had that stamina at that age, but they just love it. They're not killing themselves. They're not going crazy like they used to, like when they were younger. They might do a gig here. They'll take a week or two, do another gig here, but it's a constant gig. I think they just released another album, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, unbelievable, unreal. And they sing live, no backing tracks, which is nice. Which is really nice, because I love Kiss, but Kiss had a bunch of backing tracks. I mean, Paul Stanley sounded okay, but the backing tracks, he sounded phenomenal. So give me something that's live. I want to hear them sing. I know they used to sound like when they were in the 70s or 80s. I know they're older now. I know their voices changed. I know they can't jump around and move around like they used to. But it's them singing. It's not no backing track from 10 years or 15 years ago. It's them actually singing today. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, but with Morris Day, the only knock I would have with Morris Day now is no one can replace Jerome. You can have people try to do the things that Jerome did, but it's not the same. No. And I want to see how they sound and look without their drummer, because he had just died like a year or so ago. So that would be interesting to hear how they still perform. But yeah, they're supposed to have a record, or I thought Morris Day is supposed to put out something, his retirement record or something like that.
He's a phenomenal artist. I mean, then I'll start with Prince. Purple Rain. That was such a great movie. Again, Prince was so talented. It was unbelievable. He was phenomenally talented. Played every instrument on basically every album. And the guy was, he ran such a grueling schedule too with his musicians. Like they were like, oh my God, we just left the studio 2 hours ago. Now you're calling us. Aren't you sleeping? No, get here now. They had to get back to the studio because he came up with something in his head and he had to have it done right then. You know, so they were off to the studio even though they just left 2 hours ago.
I wonder, do he have the same dream like Michael Jackson? Because you remember Michael Jackson would be like, they'd be like, Mike, why are you going to the studio? Because if I don't, God said he's going to give this song to Prince. I want to do Prince be saying the same thing about Michael.
Yeah, they were both great artists. I mean, some people may hate me or not like me for saying this. I think everything that MJ was accused of, I don't think it was real. He just loved, he never really had a childhood. It was stripped from him because of everything he had to endure for the Jackson 5 and moving on to himself, recording and stuff like that. I don't think that man could hurt a fly. And to have these people come out and wrongfully accuse him of doing something, I think that's just wrong. He did so much for people and helped so many people, and then to get a slap in the face for, accusing him of something, no, that's completely wrong. He's just one heck of an artist. Him and Prince, they could have been in competition with each other continuously, but I think they had more of a bond of building each other up. Like Prince would do this, MJ would do this, MJ would do this, Prince would do this. They're always trying to boost each other up in the right way. Our little mascot's going crazy here.
I'm going in because I just realized we're going 2.5 hours.
Oh Jesus!
I guess I'm happy that my internet didn't stop. So
no, I know. I'll tell you, ever since I upgraded here, this thing is like lightning. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot one artist, and I hate that he got caught up in some stuff. R. Kelly was another one that put out hits that worked on the dance floor.
Oh God, yeah. And you get some artists that will not play him. Listen, he created this probably prior to whatever he got convicted of, or if he did it, didn't do it. It's still music. It's beautiful, beautiful music. I mean, you go back to the 80s and you go back to the hair bands, they were married, a lot of these guys were, but they're on tour, and guess what? They had groupies. And what were they doing? That's okay. People overlook that stuff. Yeah, we love their music, but yeah, but you're overlooking all the stuff that they did against their wives, against their marriages. But the wives didn't care either because they were bringing home the big money. So it's hard for me not to play any song. Even Gary Glitter, I love his rock and roll thing. It is. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's a great song. It really pumps people up. But people go off on a tangent for some reason. I don't know. I appreciate the music. If you had to sit there and dissect every song or dissect the artist that created that song, there wouldn't be no music on the radio. There wouldn't be no DJs. You go to a wedding and you just stand around and talk for 4 or 5 hours. But no, can't dissect everything. I'm sorry.
Yep. So let's get to our last part. So I don't be up too late. If you want to do the after party, just put after party in the comments. Now I'll DM you. But our shout outs for this week goes to our chat leaderboard from last week. And Buddy came in number 1. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I'm like, how did Buddy come in number 1 last week when he was on the show? All right, so we had Buddy at number 1, TBM Productions. Then we had Cool Thing at number 2. Then we had Will at number 3. Then we had Big J DJ Service at number 4. Then we had DJ Pretty Boy at La Ruckus Inc. at number 5. Then we had DJ K Productions, Kevin, at number 6. Then we had Sean at North Georgia Weddings and Events at number 7. And then Mikey Mike came in 8th.
How come I keep getting on board? It shouldn't be TBM Productions. Well, yeah, it is TBM Productions, but it shouldn't be Buddy from last week. It was Tracy. That's who's the winner from last week, not Buddy. Buddy, you're excluded. You're not the winner. Tracy's the winner.
Yep.
And yeah, it's Tracy and Buddy. So Tracy's the winner from last week.
Yeah, I'm trying to see why my button is not. There we go. Let me open this thing up because it's going slow. All right, there he is. So it shouldn't. All right, and then make sure if you haven't joined our Facebook group page, just go to Facebook and type in Cue It Up DJ Podcast. You can join the public group and the private group. Also, let me see. There we are. I don't know why there's a delay, but you can also follow us on all our socials. You can follow DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook at DJ Mikey Mike. And then his Instagram is DJ Mikey Mike 45. And then for me, you can follow me on all of my socials at Hitman DDub. And then welcome to our primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live streamed shows built for DJs by DJs. And starting everything off on Mondays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. For every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing. And you can see his live show at DJ Cool Thing Official. And I think he was saying today that it might be a conflict with his time, so he don't know if he'll be live at 9 or come in early, but he'll let you know. And then on Tuesdays, it's the DJ Roundtable with Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversation that matter. So it's every Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. on Twitch, on Buddy's Twitch channel, which is TBM Productions _Buddy. And then if you missed the live broadcast on Twitch, you can see the rebroadcast every Monday on Buddy's YouTube channel, which is at TBM Productions DJ1. And then on Wednesdays, we have the King's Court DJ podcast with DJ James King at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel at James King HTX. And then on Thursdays, you have the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman DDub, and DJ Mikey Mike at 9 o'clock Eastern time on my YouTube channel at the Hitman DDub. And then at the same time, you have the Start to Spin DJ podcast with DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay on at LaRuckus Inc. YouTube channel. And they start at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And they go for an hour. We go for 2.5 hours. So you can still have time to check out both shows. And then we have the KJ Chill Room for those that's into karaoke with Matt and Eric. You could join them live at djntv.com/KJ Chill at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we got to get him back on the show at _DJ Reese _ for the Recreate the Vibe podcast on YouTube and the No Stress Zone podcast on Facebook. Also, we have the Woo Experience from at the Woo Experience with DJ Woo. He has a lot of helpful tips. He hasn't been doing his live stream on Sundays. But if you follow him, I think he has one of those like Patreon kind of membership things. He does a lot of behind the scenes there. He posts a lot of what he does at his events. So you get, it's almost like he's taking you on his gigs with him. And then we have the Omega booth. Eventually I get mine up and running. Hopefully I have it up and running by September. You can get yours for $2,495. And if you use our Cue It Up discount code, you can get it for $500 off. And you can order yours from the photoboothdirectclub.com. Also on Photo Booth Direct, you can get your Sigma video guest book from Sean, and it's at $795, and you can get it in red, black, or white. And then he also has a lot of content up on the DJ Biz School on YouTube at DJ Biz School. You can learn about SEOs, online marketing, and website SEOs. So make sure to remember to like, share, and subscribe to all our channels. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the like button. And then our fade out message is, no matter whether it's your gear or your social media, make sure you're doing it and you're being intentional and not just impressing other people. Because it's just like what we said a few times. People will remember how you made them feel, how you made their night turn out. So whether you're talking about speakers, moving lights, or social media, the goal isn't to do more, it's to do what matters.
Yes.
So do you have anything else you want to say?
I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I think we all did a great job with the questions and comments in the chat. Hopefully we answered everything, and thank you for everybody being here tonight. Honestly, I had a great time, really a great time.
Yeah, because it's funny. Because again, it's funny how I'm trying to think of what can I talk about, but I need to stop trying to be not a perfectionist, but overthinking stuff. Because I put all this stuff down, and I'm like, this is not going to be enough to talk about. But we always manage to go 2.5 hours.
Well, Wayne, that's been instilled in you for how many years? You were a school teacher, and for so many years that's when you build up a regimen of doing that, and it's so hard to break away from it. Not saying it was a wrong thing. It's correct. I mean, some DJs, some people don't have no regimen at all. Like they're just, I wake up tomorrow morning, I do what I want to do, and that's it. No, there's certain guidelines that you should follow each and every day of your life. And I mean, it's like I said, for 20 years you did this as a school teacher, and okay, you retired, but that's still instilled in you. So You can't give that up. There's no possible way. You may stray from it a little bit, but still, you're still gonna fall back into it. But I think what we're doing now, yeah, we have somewhat of a little script, but we're shooting from the hip. We're going with the flow of what's in the chat and stuff like that. I mean, you get some guys that just have the script and they don't care who's saying what in the chat. They may say hello to the people in the chat and this and that, but they're just following their script from A to Z. And then, hey, see you next week. So, I mean, I'd rather interact this way with the crowd and with you and I. I mean, this is great. Such a great feeling, great sensation. Two DJs talking, two old guys, actually. Jesus, we have 111 years experience between you and I. You know, it's a lot of fun. And we want to make sure every DJ out there that sees this or hears it, that we're having fun. And you guys, no matter how old or how young you are, you can have fun too.
Yep. So again, make sure you go out there and crush those gigs this weekend. Hopefully we'll see you all next week. So remember, before it's time to go ahead.
One last thing. I want to wish you a early happy birthday, sir.
And the same to you too.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. So remember, before it's time to spin, you gotta first cue it up. All right. Take care. See you all. And if you put after party in the chat, I'll make sure I send that link over to you. See you in a few minutes.
Practice and enjoy.
Before the lights, 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 before the packed dance floors, before the name would mean anything. Been hustling over 30 years, working every single day. Music wasn't just a job, it was built in my DNA. The journey wasn't overnight. Still figuring it out. Still figuring it out. There ain't no change in me. There ain't no change in me. Can only be me. The consistency stayed the same. Even if they don't feel the same. Cause no matter how high I go, I'm still the same OG. Say